A student of mine the other day asked me if you can play the blues on an acoustic guitar, and I'm here to answer the question and say you absolutely can. Let's take a listen. Now, that student had asked me that question because they were seeing a lot of videos and a lot of information about the blues on electric guitar. Now, this student only has an acoustic guitar, so this student was wondering, hey, should I buy an electric guitar? Are there things that I can't do on an acoustic guitar that I can only do on an electric guitar? And of course, there are some things that you can only do on an electric guitar that you can't do on an acoustic guitar, but that doesn't mean that the acoustic guitar itself doesn't have its own merits. All of the same theory, all of the same scales and chords you can apply onto the acoustic guitar, but perhaps it's going to have a different flavor or a different sound. So the one thing that you're not going to get on an acoustic guitar, especially if you're playing lead, is that rock lead sound. But you are going to get some very unique sounds on the acoustic guitar by itself. But let me break down some of the stuff that I did show you for those of you that are just getting into playing a blues and you just want to use your acoustic guitar. So let me start with breaking down the lead part so you can see exactly what I was doing. I'll start with the first phrase. So that first phrase comes from something called the minor pentatonic scale. That looks like this. So what I did is I started from this note, I climbed up to this note. Then I made my way down the scale 3 notes at a time. So 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then a little bit of a change in the rhythm there. So I'll play it again. Next, I played this, which is sliding into something called the major pentatonic scale, which sounds like this. And so I'm just playing a very similar phrase to this, but then I'm just adjusting my fingers to adapt to the major pentatonic scale. Now, the major pentatonic scale has a bit of a happier sound than the minor pentatonic scale, don't you think? So just for that little phrase only, I just made that adjustment. And then back. And then slightly moving back into the major pentatonic scale again. And then the next phrase is just a repeat of the first phrase. And then I come back to this again. So that's the first little bit of the lead part. Let's jump into the rhythm part for a little bit. So the chord we'll start with is right here. So first finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. You're going to play the 5th and the 4th strings at the same time. So you'll play that 2 times. Then after that, you're going to bring your 3rd finger over to the 4th fret, 4th string. You'll play that 2 times. And that's the first little riff for the idea in the rhythm guitar. So repeat that a few times and see how that feels. And you can even sit here. It sounds pretty acoustic bluesy, right? But to grab the rest of the riffs in that rhythm guitar part, all you have to do is shift your fingers up and down. And of course, shifting your pick up and down to match what you're playing here. So for example, 2 times here, and then all I did here is, of course, I played that, and then after that, my fingers just moved down to the 3rd string. My pick moved to strings 3 and 4, and that's it. So play this 2 times, next 2 times, and back. That will have 4 times. For the final riff, you just bring your fingers up to the 5th string. You're going to play here the 5th strings and 6th strings, and now you have like that. So I'll play the entire rhythm guitar idea for you. 3, 4. And that's a nice simple style of rhythm guitar if you're just getting familiar with playing the blues. Of course, there's some other things that I did in the example with some walking bass lines and things like that. But of course, as a bass, this is enough, I think. But I'll stop this here for part 1. If you're interested in some of the other stuff that I was doing, like the intro, maybe some of the walking bass lines in the rhythm guitar part, and then the second half of the lead guitar part, as well as a bit of more deeper explanation into what's going on there. And that includes a downloadable PDF, of course, and a backing track in case you want to practice some lead playing. You can go to part 2 of this video, which you can find in the link. I'll see you in part 2.